What's going on, guys, and welcome back to 3D Arcade for the Week 1 Team Builder against the Delta Glygars, a veteran of the BBR, as we go into our first battle of the league, hoping to come out with a win in our 12-week season and get it started off right. So real quick, I'm going to load the teams down on to the below screen. Weird way to say that, but I'm gonna load the teams down below. You can see what we've got, you can see what they've got. We're gonna go over what Platinum Howler is bringing on the Delta Glygars team. But real quick, check out the Arkansas Pigknights merch, blankets, posters, shirts, hoodies, all available on the merch link in the description below. Make sure you guys check that out. And if you're excited for this battle and this team builder, go ahead and give me a like on this video. It really helps YouTube out, wakes them up, lets them know that you like what you're seeing here. And the battle will be going up shortly. I'll probably be posting this on Friday and then battles on Saturday, or Saturday and then Sunday. I forget which day is the upload day, but I'll be posting my team builders the day before the battle goes up. And if the battles are ever delayed, so will the team builders. And follow me on Twitter to make sure that you guys know if there's going to be any kind of delay like that. But without any further ado, let's go over the 11 Pokemon on my opponent's team. Platinum Howler and the Delta Glygars started off their draft really strong with Dragapult, 200-point pick right out of the gate. Fastest Mon in the game pretty much at this point. There's a few that you might be able to get around, but if you Choice Scarf this thing, max speed it, Timid, it's going to go crazy on your team. They also drafted Cobalion, Silvally, Tangrowth, Moltres Galar, Comfey, Tentacruel, Almastar, Beheeyem, and Luxio, and Magmar. I think I skipped Magmar. They have a really strong team, and I'm going to go over real quick who I think is going to come out. Based on a quick analysis of the overall type analysis and just what I can hit and what I can't hit and what I'm weak to, kind of a balance of those things as we kind of feel out the league for how different people like to team build around other people. Definitely going to have to watch a lot of team builders this season so I can get a better feel for that. And yeah, that's my strategy right now. So real quick, identifying the 6 that my opponent's bringing before getting into our team. I really can't see a reason not to bring Dragapult. I mean, we have Goodra and we have who's our fairy type? Premarina, but I mean, he outspeeds both of them, right? So it's pretty crazy out here, and he can definitely figure out ways to deal with them. And I just feel like you don't draft Dragapult and you don't bring Dragapult. I pretty much assume at this point that everyone's 200 tier pick is going to come unless I just have pick upon pick that can take them down. So I'm expecting Dragapult, absolutely. And beyond that, we are looking pretty hard at just a bulk and some cores of things that I'm expecting to see come. So in addition to Dragapult, I am definitely thinking Cobalion's going to come. Cobalion's just a nice, strong steel fighting type. It's going to be able to do a lot. Its stats are solid. And I think its fake out pressure is going to be something. Its close combat is going to be just absolutely phenomenal for them. Whether it's Choice Band or Life Orb or just high attack, it's going to do a lot of damage to a lot of Pokemon, whether it's super effective or not. And in addition to that, I am expecting Comfey, because I kind of struggle. Comfey, struggle to pronounce it, but I also kind of struggle to hit it in a lot of ways because we don't. It just takes stuff well. It heals well. It's a good cleric, and it kind of rounds out that Dragon Steel Fairy core. I think it's a good option to have, knowing I do have the Goodra and I do have potential dragon options to take Dragapult down. It just makes sense to have a dragon immunity on the team. So I am expecting to see Comfey, although that might get switched out for Galarian Moltres or something similar. I'm also expecting a little bit of defense coming in the form of Tangrowth and Tentacruel, because they're just both bulky water and grass types. I really see them coming because they just have a lot of coverage. Poison's going to do really well for them against Premarina, obviously from the Tentacruel, and it kind of resists a lot of what I've got going on there. Tangrowth is also going to take care of the water side of that, and Tangrowth has that regenerator ability that is just seems like a really justifiable bring. And although its special defense is lowered, you can assault vest it, give it a good nature, you can bring it up pretty freaking high. You can make up for it, and its attack stats are solid despite its speed. Kind of slowing it down, it can just eat the hits. Its attacks, I don't need to say anything else about Tangrowth. It's good. So I'm expecting those 5 Pokemon. And then lastly, like I said, Galarian Moltres might come, Magmar might come, but I'm feeling okay about my ability to deal with them with the team that I'm bringing. Silvally is the Pokemon I'm actually most scared of. It's easy for me to plan, well, not easy, but it's possible for me to plan around Dragapult because I know what Dragapult is. Silvally can change into any of its types. So I've sort of identified, I think its scariest types for me are going to be ground or ice. and Ice is just going to be man, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight. So I'm still kind of hoping for ground, but we'll see what happens, and Silvally might not even make it. So you're going to see me I honestly probably won't even talk about it. I'm expecting Silvally to come, but I'm expecting that to be a call I have to make at the start screen, basically at the connection screen. Here's team preview. He's bringing Silvally. Can I identify what Silvally is? Nope. All right, we'll figure it out when it comes out, because Pokemon Info will tell me. So those are the 6 I'm expecting reasonably. Again, they are Dragapult, Cobalion, Silvally, Ground or Ice, Tangrowth, and Comfey, and Tentacruel. And yeah, that's where we're at. And I guess I should specify. The reason I think it could be Silvally, Ground, or Ice is because Ground is the type that's most super effective on me. I have 3 immunities, but I also have 3 weaknesses. And my expected team this week, I'm actually only bringing 1 immunity, so you know, it's a risk. It's a risk I'm taking, but I think we can figure it out. And then Ice is just a type I don't hit super hard, so I think it's a potential option to bring, and it's a type they're missing from this team. And multi-attack is just a scary move. It's a 120 base power move that's stab no matter what you do to it. It's insane. Anywho, so that is Platinum Howler's team with the Delta Glygars. So giving them the respect they deserve, we're going to get into our team of 6. First up, as I said, your 200-point picks always probably come in. So we've got Landorus, Therian form, the flying ground type. He's going to be going by the name Tiger King this week. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep their names all the way through the season, or if I'm going to kind of just pick and choose as I go. And now I'm kind of regretting that I didn't name anybody Carol Baskin today, but you know, it is what it is. You do the best you can. So Landorus, Therian, we are going to be going with the hasty nature, which is going to be down in defense, up in speed, because we want to give it a little bit of speed, but I didn't want to put all of my EVs into that basket, and I'm kind of utilizing it in a way that I don't really want it to be hit at all, so I don't mind defense going down. With that, the Intimidate ability is the only ability we can bring. Going to be nice to have, not going to lie to you, excited to have it on the team for that reason, and we'll kind of see what we can do there, especially if it ends up being a physical Dragapult. Next up, we got the Choice Scarf item, worth pointing out there, so that is going to bring our speed up to, I believe, a whopping 423, maybe 424, which is just a couple points high enough to outspeed max speed Timid Dragapult without a Scarf. If it's Scarfed, it's going to outspeed us, but it's not going to be able to have enough power to one-shot us. Banded Dragapult or Specs Dragapult has a chance with Dragon Darts or Draco Meteor to knock us out, but it has to outspeed us to do it, and there's no way that it can with this set. So Landorus Therian is specifically speed crept for that reason. You can see our stats here. We're looking at a pretty good spread, high attack, high HP, high special attack, good speed, but not the best speed. And then our defenses are just kind of okay, but they're pretty subpar compared to the rest of our team. Along with that, to get this stat spread, we have the EV spread of 128 in attack, just to kind of boost ourselves up a little bit, keep our already super high attack stat going for us, because that's where Landorus really shines. It's base 145 attack, which is pretty great. Like I said, defense is going down, but I think we're going to be trying to outspeed everything with Scarf when we're using it, so we're really looking for one-shots is what we're doing. Special attack is specifically crept up so that Earth Power can one-hit KO Cobalion, if I remember correctly. It's got to be Cobalion, right? Yeah. To one-hit KO Cobalion. It's right on the line to do it. If Cobalion is like anywhere a standard spread, if it's defensive in any way, it's going to take some points off of its attack stats, and again, same thing as Dragapult. I'm hoping if it's a little extra speed or a little extra defense or something, it won't be enough for Cobalion to kill us, so it won't destroy us if we take a hit from it. But we'll see how it goes. It's kind of a risk, but that's the way I'm running it. Along with that, that is why we're bringing Earth Power and Earthquake, so we have the stab choices. Ideally, we're switching in and out between Pokemon, because there's not a lot of Pokemon that take the same hits, but Earthquake is a pretty solid hit on most of the mons we're expecting to come. Earth Power is specifically for Cobalion, though. U-turn is in case we have a lead or we have a switch or double switch happens or something and we want to get out of there, but we want to do some damage because we know we're going to outspeed with the Scarf, get some U-turn off, get the heck out of there. That's the idea. And then Outrage is actually here for Dragapult because we can outspeed, Outrage, one-shot Dragapult, get it out of there, first turn, and then we'll probably hard swap to avoid the confusion, and that's the way we're rocking out with Landorus. And that's pretty much all I have to say about him. He's going to do okay against a lot of Pokemon here. He's not really doing a lot against Moltres. Tangrowth we really don't want to stay in on. But Comfey, we're going to be hitting for 60 to 80% depending on the spread. We're doing pretty good chunks of damage to Tentacruel. Amistar is gone. Behemoth can't take it. Silvally takes it okay, but Magmar, if it comes, is gone. Luxio, obviously destroyed. We have our answers for a lot of the other Pokemon, so it's going to be ultimately pretty solid with that Scarf to outspeed everything. Next up, this week we're bringing Premarina, the Water Fairy type. So, Premarina is coming as another answer. A lot of these answers are going to be kind of built around Dragapult, and then the rest of their moveset is going to be to deal with the other Pokemon, because Dragapult, I feel like, is the big offensive threat, and the rest of them are just switches to let Dragapult come in and do what it wants to do. So Premarina is coming this week with the Modest Nature. That's going to be up in Special, down in Attack, because it has no physical moves. And then we're going to have the Torrent ability to power up our Water-type moves in low health, and the Choice Specs. So we're going to have God-tier Special Attack. EVs, we're looking at 200 in defense, 252 in special attack, 52 in speed. Specifically speed crept to outspeed Tangrowth if Tangrowth gets just a little bit of investment to try to beat Premarina, because it's only a few base points behind. So that we can Ice Beam it, because Ice Beam will one-shot Tangrowth. That's why Ice Beam is here. It's great stuff. Ice Beam's also great for Dragapult, but Moonblast is a guaranteed one-shot. It's like 130% with Choice Specs, because, I mean, look at our special attack. It's 386. 1.5 times that is like 193. It's a lot. It's high 500s. It's a lot. So it is a little bit slower, but it's ultimately got a really great defensive typing, and you managed to put some points in its defense to bring its defense around its special defense. It's going to take some hits, okay. Has a decent amount of HP, so really looking forward to using Premarina. We do have Sparkling Aria for that stab water. Moonblast, Ice Beam, and Psychic. Moonblast is going to be kind of the hot button for a lot of these Pokemon, but Psychic's going to come across pretty well. Tentacruel, I think it does 30 to 40%, depending on how defensive the Tentacruel is, if we get forced out to fight it. As I said, Ice Beam is going to take out Tangrowth. Moonblast, I think, actually, because it's just so strong in stab, it actually OHKOs most Comfeys. Ice Beam's going to still be great against Galarian Moltres. Psychic's going to be great against Cobalion. We don't really want to stay out against Cobalion because Steel-type moves, taking an Iron Head, is not going to be good for us, but we can. Omastar is not really a match for us. Behemoth can't really do anything. Water or Ground-type Silvally is something we can take on with Sparkling Aria. Okay. Ice-type, again, okay. We don't really have a good way to kill it, but we can do some stuff. Magmar is obvious, and really Luxio is just... Eviolite Luxio maybe have a chance, but maybe has a chance, but Premarina is just going to do some serious damage. Next up, we are bringing Goombi the Goodra, the solid standard dragon typing. I love Goodra so much. Goodra's actually going to come shiny, but I couldn't find good art for it. So we have Goodra here, coming with the Timid nature that's up in speed, down in attack. We're not bringing any physical attacks on Goodra this week, so I figured that'd be a good choice. We are bringing Sap Sipper, which is going to allow us to be immune to grass-type attacks and raise our attack. The boost doesn't really matter, but the immunity is cool. If we can read a good Power Whip off a Tangrowth or something. We have the Haban Berry to help us out if this ends up having to be our Dragapult answer. In certain lead situations, it just needs to be. And it can just be really nice. And if there's a dragon move thrown in there somewhere for coverage, it'll help us eat it. It's the, in case you're not familiar with the Haban Berry, it is the one that's going to reduce a super effective dragon type move. And it's just, it was too good to pass up. So, Goodra is a pretty solid Pokemon. It has 336 special defense naturally at this level. Pretty crazy, so I chose not to put any investment there, and I put a whole bunch, 252 points in defense to kind of bring that defense stat up to 239 to give us a little more bulk there. HP 321, awesome. Special attack 319, hits hard, kind of medium speed tier at 216, but we outspeed some things, we don't outspeed other things, and that's looking at Goodra. That's the plan. Draco Meteor is what's going to come out. It's going to one-shot a Dragapult. We take that Haban Berry if we're at full. I want to say we live up to like 64% if I remember correctly. And yeah, that's the idea. It's another contingency for Dragapult. Dropping a Draco on anybody else is also going to do an absolute ton of damage. We just don't really want to stay in afterwards because it's going to lower our ability to put damage out. Flamethrower is here for coverage because we're not bringing our fire type this week. And I just wanted to have it for an extra way to hit Tangrowth because Sludge Bomb and Flamethrower are going to do about equal damage to it. And if I feel out like a berry or something, it might be better for us to use one super effective move over another. Flamethrower is obviously also super effective on Cobalion because he's fire type. You don't want to use it on Comfey, but Sludge Bomb's going to hit Comfey super hard if you have to. But Comfey outspeeds Goodra, so we really don't want to get into that. And beyond that, we can kind of match up okay against Tentacruel and a lot of these other Mons, but we just, you know, it kind of depends. It's a real solid Mon. We don't super want to be out against ground type Silvally. Definitely not ice type Silvally, but ground type Silvally we can do some major damage to if that is what comes. Beheeyem we can take okay. Almastar we can take okay. Magmar obviously we got it. And then a Draco or something like that into Luxio is going to be great. And if we get into trouble where a Mon is causing us a lot of problems and switching out a lot, we have Toxic on here to just try to fire a Toxic off once we have ideally once we have Cobalion out of the way, so we don't have to worry about that switch in for the Steel type. But just to get some regular chip damage on some Pokemon, since I'm not bringing any sort of hazards this week. Next up on the team, we have got Bisharp, the Steel Dark type. Nightmare the Bisharp is coming with us this week with the Jolly nature and the Defiant ability. Defiant obviously a little bit better in a Dynamax format than it is in this format because you just have so many stat changes. But basically what that's going to do is if someone tries to change any of our stats, we will also raise our attack by 2 stages, and our attack is God tier at 349. So looking pretty good. We're also, in addition to that 349, getting a 30% boost from Life Orb, so it's even better. But getting into his stats, he's got 271 HP, 349 attack. His defense and special defense are okay in the 230s, but not amazing. And then he's kind of slow with 194 speed, and his special attack's nothing to write home about, but we're not using it, so it's all good there. EV-wise, we're giving him 252 in attack and special defense because I wanted his defense to kind of even out. You know, you don't really, that's kind of my trademark, and I'll probably have to change that up throughout the season so people don't expect it. But I like to give things more even defenses so that while I'm a noob, it matters a little bit less if I remember how people tend to attack or if people run weird sets, because my defenses are relatively even and you can't exploit a super weak stat in a defensive area. So that's that. Could have also maybe gone HP, but I went special defense. That's what it is. So we're running knockoff for a nice stab away to knock the items off of any Pokemon that become a super, super big danger to us. Specifically Cobalion, I kind of like the idea of, but there's almost no way we're getting a knockoff on a Cobalion unless he thinks he can Swords Dance, and then we don't really want to get a knockoff on Cobalion. So we're kind of playing that one weird, but you know, it might come in handy against a Tangrowth or something like that. Just get something off there that's giving it a little bit of a, you know, Rocky Helmet or an Assault Vest or something like that. Iron Head, just a great stab. Love to have it for certain Pokemon like Comfey. It hits a lot of things okay if they don't resist it. It has a 30% chance to flinch, which is great. And then we have Stab Priority Sucker Punch, which is another way we could deal with Dragapult if we get lucky on the matchup in the beginning and he thinks he can take it. We can do a Sucker Punch into it. It one-shots him. Sucker Punch is going to do a lot of damage to a lot of things. It's just super strong with that Life Orb, and yeah, I wanted the priority. I wanted the ability to do it, and it's nice to have. And he doesn't have a lot, you know, there's not a lot of great dark type moves on the physical side, so having physical Sucker Punch was just nice. Brick Break is here in case somebody decide to set up screens for some reason. We thought he might just be able to get out there, break through him, knock him down, get some damage in there, just a little bit of extra stuff, rather than running another Toxic User or Protect or something like that on this Mon. Next up, we have got Galarian Slowking. Grimace the Galarian Slowking is our 5th Mon on the team this week. Poison and Psychic type with the relaxed nature that's going to be up in defense, down in speed because he's a slow boy. Don't mind him being even slower because he's not outspeeding anything anyway. He's got the Regenerator ability, so he gets a third of his health back anytime he swaps out and comes back in, which is great. And he's also got the Citrus Berry to help him kind of restore some health if he gets low enough, because in most cases, he's bulky enough, he's going to live enough to restore the Citrus Berry. We're going to get, I think, a third of our health back, maybe a quarter. But it's a good amount of health, so enjoyable either way. We've added some EVs, 200 in defense, 52 in special defense, to kind of even them out around that 270 range. Bring his bulk up with a 322 HP stat. He's taking some hits pretty okay. We want to avoid any ground type hits. Those are really the ones that hit us super, super, super hard. And beyond that, he's doing all right. Attack wise, terrible. But we got 252 in special attack for 319 total special, and he hits really, really, really hard. You'll be surprised what a Psychic from this thing will knock out. It's kind of nuts. Kind of does some work. Really enjoy it. So we have Psychic, Sludge Bomb, Yawn, and Shadow Ball just for general coverage. We want to get that Ghost type move in there. We want to get the Poison, like the Psychic. It's just doing a lot of stuff. So if lots of options come out, he can just hit really hard. And he doesn't have a solid ground type on his team. So like Earthquaking Tangrowth, scary. Earthquaking Ground Silvally, scary. But other than that, we can kind of play around it and do some major damage. Yawn, because he's so thick, he can get a Yawn off on some things that are more threatening. Take a little bit of damage, heal most of it off when he switches out, but get a Yawn off to kind of force their switch as well, so we can get a nice, hopefully lucky double switch going on there. Each person switches, somebody new comes out. So Yawn's there, and you know, if he lets something fall asleep, that's just great. It's something that can be asleep for like I think up to 4 turns is what the rules are, to give us some time to play around some things. And if it's late game and something falls asleep, you can force it to switch out, knock everything else out, and it has to come back out of sleep with not a lot of options. Lastly, we have got Sparkplug the Jolteon, pure electric typing, coming with us this week with the timid nature, so up in speed, down in attack. He's not bringing any physical attacks, no big deal. He has got Volt Absorb this week just for the electric type weakness in case something comes with an electric type move to try to take on Premarina, or if Luxio comes or something like that. We can try to get some switches, get some stuff going. I don't see a lot of status games being played, so I didn't really see Quick Feet coming in because the way this Jolteon is built, he's going to outspeed most things anyway, so Quick Feet wasn't really necessary. And we're bringing the leftovers on him just to give him a little bit of extra healing because he's primarily functioning as a T-waving Wish Passer in this game. You know, if the ground types do come, Volt Switch and Thunderbolt are less helpful. If they don't, we can get some stuff off. Galarian Moltres comes, all of a sudden Jolteon's way more important. Really excited to have him on the team for that reason. He's got 172 EVs and HP to give him a little bit more general bulk, 252 in special attack to give him that weapon that he needs to do some damage to some things, at 84 in speed just to make sure that he is outspeeding everything that is not that freaking Dragapult. If it's Scarf, that's a different story. I'm pretty sure this is for Cobalion specifically. It can outspeed Cobalion to get a Thunder Wave off on it or get a Wish off and get out of there. I considered bringing screens, but honestly, I might change my opinion on this later in the season because he is a fast screen setter, but it just scares me. And knowing there's so much mixed attacking I kind of expect from this. I mean, there is a lot of physical, but I feel like in this one, I'd rather keep the Thunderbolt in case a flying type comes or in case Amistar comes or just something. If he gets stuck out there against Tentacruel, I don't want to be forced to switch into something I don't want to switch into by using Volt Switch, stuff like that. So we're going to see how Jolteon does. He is providing us that Volt Turn core with Landorus, so I'm excited to see that. In terms of our squad of 6 this week, cores we are running, things we are thinking about. You can't really call it a Regenerator core with just one Mon, but we got Galarian Slowking there. We have a Psychic Dark Fighting core, I think. Did we bring a Fighting type? No, we didn't bring a Fighting type. I don't know what I'm talking about. But we have Dragon Steel Fairy core with Premarina, Goodra, and Bisharp there. And we don't have a Fighting type coming with us, but we do have 2 parts of it. We have the Psychic Dark going on for us there with Bisharp, which I don't think I mentioned, but Bisharp does bring us the Poison immunity and the Psychic immunity on him this week. So we are doing some good things. I'm hopeful this team's the right team to beat Platinum Howler, but like I said, he's got a lot more experience on me. We're going to see how we do. And that's about wrapping it up for this week's Team Builder. If you guys did enjoy, if you guys have any recommendations for how I can evaluate my opponent's team, anything I should think about with my team, you know, am I playing it too offensive, not offensive enough? Should I be using lower accuracy moves that are stronger and see what I can do with those? Let me know down in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, whichever day this goes up. Tomorrow should be the battle. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you know when it goes up, and I'll see you in those comments as well.